Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, the name is Ngozi. Thank you so much for coming to my channel and for clicking that button. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. How have you been? I hope you've been well. Thank you so much for always coming back and for always watching my videos. I really do appreciate that. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things I miss about Nigeria and some of the things I love about Lome, Togo. Okay, so I moved down here officially since in 2009. I've been living here since 2009. That's about 12 years now. And in all that while, I can say that there are some things I miss about Nigeria, and there are some things I love. I absolutely love and appreciate since I started living here. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is safety of lives and property. That's a big one. Safety of lives and property. Now, ever since I was a child growing up, ever since I can remember, I do not have a better memory of Nigeria, but that I do not have a better memory than this memory that I have now. But ever since I can remember, Nigeria has always been a country that has been filled with crime. Ever since I can remember. Armed robbery, kidnapping. Since I've been living here, I haven't witnessed any of those things one-on-one. I'm not the only person that will tell you this. If you ask every other Nigerian or every other foreigner, every other African foreigner that lives here, I'm sure they will say the same thing. And now I'm not saying that there is no crime here. Of course there's crime here. There's crime everywhere where human beings inhabit, because human beings are just lawless. They're just lawless by nature. Okay? So everywhere you find that human beings inhabit, you're bound to find crimes there. Okay? So I'm not saying there's no crime here in Togo. There is crime, but you cannot compare the weight of the crimes here to the ones you find back home in Nigeria. In this country, you can actually go to bed at night and sleep with your eyes closed and actually have a good night's sleep and wake up the next morning. I cannot say the same thing for Nigeria. Nigerians go to bed at night with their hearts in their pocket. They practically sleep with their eyes open because you do not know who is going to come and attack you while you're sleeping at night. And that is not a very good report. Now, I'm concentrating on Nigeria, like I said. I'm not saying that in other parts of the world that crimes don't exist. Crimes do exist. But I'm concentrating on Nigeria because I am Nigerian, and because I grew up in Nigeria, and because having witnessed the rate of crime that I have witnessed in Nigeria, and having lived here for about 12 years now, there's a difference. There's a difference. This country is reasonably peaceful. Apart from the political friction that happens once in a while, it's a reasonably peaceful country. Our citizens are at peace. Crime is not the rate of crime here. You cannot compare the rate of crime here with the rate of crime that goes on in Nigeria. It's terrible. It's terrible. One day, I was going to school in the morning with my kids, and when we got to the corner where we're supposed to enter and drive into school, there's a mama that always stays at the junction. She sells fruit. Now, every morning when we're going to school in the morning, you usually find most traders, not even mama alone. You usually find most traders when you come to a store, okay, where there's a trader, where a trader has her goods. When you're coming out in the morning, sometimes I notice that you see something like this Ghana must go sack, the very large one. They use it to cover something and then they tie it maybe with a piece of rope just to keep the bag in place. Now, every time I pass something like that, I just keep looking. I'm like, what in these people they tie like this self? You know, I didn't understand. Then one morning, very early in the morning when we were going to school, as we took that turn, Mama was already awake in the morning. She was already in her store. So as soon as we took that turn, she removed the bag. And to my surprise, her goods were packed there. As in her fruits, everything she sells was packed there. And I was like, what? So all this while that I see stores with things wrapped, so these things are actually their items for sale that they actually leave here on the road and they go to bed at night and they come back in the morning and they still find them there. You feature that kind of instance for Nigeria. They go sell your things, they don't go even keep change for you. I was like, what? In this country, you can go to bed at night and actually forget to close your gates or your door, and you go to bed at night and come back and still find that your house is still intact. Your things are still in place. And I think I give kudos to the leaders of this country, because that is the pace they have set. Now, the second thing I love about Togo is electricity. Electricity. Where to begin? When it comes to electricity, Nigeria and electricity, where do we start from? Where do we start from? I grew up in Benin, Edo State. And I remember after some time, after 17, I think about 17 or 18 years in Edo State, we moved from Edo State, we moved down to the east, Aba precisely. And I remember the very first day we got to Aba, there was no light. There was no light. So we were like, when they go bring light now? After we have stayed for a while, we're like, okay, so we got to Aba that day. We got to Aba at night, okay? So we slept without light. There was no light. So when we woke up the next morning, we were like, these people never bring light. When they go bring light? When they go bring light? When they go bring light? We stayed in Aba for 6 months without light. For 6 months. There was no light. For 6 months. And I know that there are places in Nigeria where there hasn't been light for more than a year. For more than a year. Why do we have problems of electricity in Nigeria when we generate electricity? Like the problem of electricity by now should be something that is in the past. And in a country as small as Togo, Togo doesn't even have up to 1/4 of what Nigeria has as natural resources. And yet, the basic necessities, the basic amenities are available and very, very accessible to her citizens. You talk about electricity, you talk about safety of lives and property, you talk about healthcare, you talk about education, you talk about food. Like, where do I start from? As small as this country is, she's not even a rich country. And yet, those things that are necessary for human beings to survive are in place. And they are very, very, very accessible to everyone. It makes you stop to wonder, really. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about that I really, really do appreciate here is food items. Food items. The last video I made was I went to a local market here, one of the local markets here. Actually, one of the small markets here, and I just to shop for a few items. And then in that video, I was saying that I love the way traders sell their goods here. They sell their goods in such a manner that everyone can afford to buy. It doesn't matter whether you're rich, it doesn't matter whether you're poor, it doesn't matter whether you're middle class. Every single time you go to the market with the little money you have to buy food items for yourself and your family, you will always find something to buy. No matter how little the money you have is. And I love that, and I think it's a good testimony. The government of this country, they've made it in such a way, because the average Togolese man is not a very rich man. The average Togolese man is not a very rich man. It's not a very rich man. But the basic necessities of life, the government has made it very, very accessible to everyone. And I really, that's a big thumbs up to them. I cannot say the same for Nigeria. There are people living in Nigeria that they do not even know where their next meal is going to come from. They do not even know where their next meal is going to come from. In a country, the giant of Africa, with everything that God has blessed her with, it's really, really sad. Now, on a lighter note, let me talk about those things I appreciate about Nigeria and I miss about Nigeria, because I'm not going to say that you don't find them here or they are not here, but you cannot compare them to the way it is in Nigeria. Now, the very first thing I'm going to say is the life in Nigeria, the hustle and the bustling in Nigeria. The hustling and the bustling in Nigeria. I love that about Nigeria. Nigerians they are up and about. They are very, very hardworking. They are they are always on the go. They are always looking for something to do. The average Nigerian is a hardworking man. The average Nigerian is a very, very hardworking man. Nigerians, with everything that has been going on in Nigeria, and with everything that the government has been doing to break us, Nigerians, they have still maintained their spirit. That spirit of no matter what, we go, they go. You know, they are always hustling, looking for one way or the other to make ends meet. And I love that about Nigeria. The life there, they are hardworking people. They do not give up easily. And that is one thing I love about Nigeria. They are up and about. They are very hardworking. They don't sit on their ass and wait for manna to fall from heaven. They are up and about. If you're a lazy person by nature, and you move down here, your own don't finish. Because this one is, you just be dragged into the pit of laziness, but as in your own don't finish. These people, they are very laid back. Okay, the average Togolese man just wants to wake up in the morning, if he has a job, go to work, and just find something to eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, in the evening, hang out somewhere, drink, dance, have a child, and they are not hardworking like Nigerians. Initially when I came here, one day my husband he left late for the office that day, and before 12 he was like, hey, I was like, you're going to work on your own, why? As in, it's your office, why all day? Hey, he was like, I'm turning up. I was like, hey, go back now, back in the tree. He was like, imagine that, 12:30, how about you get now break? I was like, what? Even banks, you will never find that in Nigeria. 12:30, about you get go away, and I got break, and I get it. And that is what they do here. You go to the bank by 12:30, the doors are closed. Nobody will even talk to you. They will tell you come back by 2:30. They have packed their things and gone for break. Break in Nagoni 2 hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes. Sometimes when even they mistakenly open the door, nobody will even talk to you. Everybody has gone home for break 2.5 hours on a working day. Na bank for that matter. Where has that ever happened in Nigeria? You have a business, all of a sudden you just close your door and say, Naga break, especially a bank, where people are always coming in round the clock for business. You will shut the doors and say you are going home for break. The first day I heard it, I was like, Guinea. He said, no. They are very, very laid back. They don't bother themselves. As in, they don't stress themselves. The Frenchman doesn't want stress. They don't stress themselves at all. You see all this hustling and bustling in Nigeria, killing ourselves to make ends meet. It's only a very, very few people here. Only very few Togolese, only very few. And I think that those few ones, the reason they are the way that they are exceptional is probably because they have lived elsewhere. When you find those ones that have been to places like Nigeria, when they come back, you see a change in them. You actually know that this one don't come out come. So that's one thing I love and I miss about Nigeria. That's hustle and bustle. That's to strive and work hard and make ends meet. These people here, they don't kill themselves over. They don't. Now, the second thing I miss about Nigeria is, how do I put it now? The way that they have opened themselves up to the world, the way they have opened themselves up. I mean, Nigerians, they open the doors to investors. They allow investors to come in and invest, and they partner with countries all over the world. And I think this is a really, really good thing, because this simple act alone brings opportunity to her citizens. It brings opportunity for development to her citizens. Let's take, for instance, YouTube. A lot of people in Nigeria, all over the world from other countries, have made a good living from being YouTubers. There are some people that YouTube is their full-time work. That is what they do. People have become millionaires from being YouTubers. The day I found out that Togo was not eligible for monetization, I was like, what? The world has become a global village, and Togo is not eligible for monetization. I went online before I actually started my channel. I was like, let me see if there are people that are YouTubers from Togo. I couldn't find any. I couldn't find any. After a while, I think the second time I checked, I found some few people, but half of them were even Nigerians. If you're a YouTuber living here in Togo and you're looking to get monetized, you have to move. As in, you have to move, you have to leave this country. Because if you keep staying here, you are not going to get monetized, because Togo is not eligible for monetization. I'm not saying she's the only country that is not eligible for monetization, but why does she always have to be among? There are some things, if you have something like a MasterCard, and maybe a MasterCard or a Visa card, and you want to go online, there are some things you have restrictions. You cannot do, you cannot access because of your location. If you go online with your Master or your Visa card, there are limits to things you can do. When it comes to, in terms of buying and selling from the outside world, there are limits. And that doesn't speak very well. I mean, what with all the digitalization and computerization that is going on in the world, and some countries are still behind, no, it doesn't, that's not good enough. I think I'm going to end this video here, because I thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please comment down below. I'd like to know your thoughts. And if you are Nigerian living elsewhere, I'd like to know what are those things you miss about Nigeria and what are those things you love about the country where you reside in presently. Thank you all so much. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing to my channel. And if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Okay, comment down below. I'd really like to interact with you. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you very soon in my next one. Okay, stay safe. Bye.